How are you guys doing? This is Martin. You know me from my series, How to Pay Off Your Car Loan in 36 Months Without Giving Up Starbucks or being cheap. Or you've been watching some of my older videos where I showed you how I paid off my Camry, 2012 Camry in like 17 months. Now, could you imagine if you had signed a lease for a loan payments for 72 months for a car? Oh, hey, how about if you sign up a 3-year lease for a car and your job suddenly disappeared? Can you imagine? What would you do? Would you want to be one of my case studies where you show me, hey, Martin, I lost my job, but then I had I paid my loan ahead a couple of months where I was able to get unemployment, or I paid my loan up enough where I could work a couple of jobs for a catering company or help clean up someone's house or sell some of my clothes or something so I have some money to eat, but then I don't have to worry about my car payment. Wouldn't that be cool? Because yesterday I was like a couple of days ago, the store, Express is a store that sells clothes where you have usually 3 to 4 employees. Now that doesn't count, I know you guys like this, the warehouse where the merchandise is shipped from. Well, it just said they're closing 91 of their stores. So that means who's going to lose the job? The cashier, the manager, the stocker. Now that trickles down to like the warehouse, where if you ever where you are where I am, thousands of like 4 or 5 big warehouses. That means they're going to need less people at the warehouse for those 91 stores, because you probably have at least 4 to 5,000 items being shipped there. So trickle down from the store to like the delivery driver of the truck all the way down to the warehouse. So that means not only are the stores closing, but some people in those fulfillment centers are going to lose their jobs. The driver, how about the accounting in the main office? How about the accounting in the region? Sales regional manager, district regional manager. Now, all those people are going to lose their jobs because they've closed their stores. If you said, Martin, what does it mean when you close the store? Just drive around, and when you see a sign that says 31,500 square feet open, available for lease, that means someone's gone out of business. That means someone was small. That means someone didn't know how to sell. That means you don't have a job. And if you don't have a job, you know what that means? You better find a way to make your car payments. So you see what I'm talking about? Drive around. That doesn't count what happened last year. Payless, a company that was billions of dollars, thousands of stores. Who lost their job? The store people, the people in between, regional manager, all the way down to all those warehouses where I live at that they don't need anymore. If there's no product going, what are you picking? And there's enough people already. There's enough businesses that are already going out of business. They don't need all those pickers. So that means from the picker all the way up to the manager, or like the vice president and the people in the main office, they've lost their jobs. What's your strategy? That's why I tell you, that's why I come to you like with these beliefs. Say, here's belief today. You probably say, Martin, why do you harp on this? I lost my job. I know what it's like to be laid off and have no money to pay your car loan. I know how it is to have the car loan people calling you up saying, hey, bring us your money, give us this, or we're going to take the car. I know it is how to you got to hide the car. Be trying to hide the car in different spaces, parking it on the street, parking it way down somewhere. I've done all that. It sucks. It's not a good place to be. So today I'm going to hit you with another belief on why you don't think you can pay off your car loan. I know. You know what it is? It's family. Family can either be friend or foe, and most of the time it's foe. First, I'll give you an example from my friend. She has a young couple of kids that she wants the mother-in-law to babysit. Well, the mother-in-law kind of flakes and doesn't babysit and doesn't do the arrangement that the wife and the husband and the son worked out. So she had to take a week off from work because she couldn't depend on the mother-in-law, to take care of the kids. Now they lost a week of income and all that. It's not so much even a week of income. It's just now you have a dependable mother-in-law who's a fucking bitch you can't depend on. And then it doesn't make it any better when the husband, oh, she's going to school and she's doing this and she's doing that. He doesn't help you, so he's a wimp. He's a mama's boy. So there goes less income. And what does that mean? That's trust. Now let's go to my example. When my grandmother died back in 2009, she was about 87. Before she died, her son, who was a drug addict, snuck into the house. I didn't know about it and started living there. So when my grandmother passed away, the son was already in the house. So then a grandmother, I had to go through a prorated probate because my grandmother, just before she died, she said, I do not want this guy in the will. I don't want him to get anything from me. He's a drug addict for years, wasted her money, stole from her, all kind of stories. I could tell you how he broke into the house and stole the TV from the house, how he stole radios, how he stole his own father's wallet. She's just like, I'm done. So she'll be first before she died. Then the problem was like when he moved to the house, I thought, you know what? He's been such a good guy and he says he's changed. This drug addict says he's changed and I believed him. What happens? All I asked him to do was pay $150 of a $300 rent so I could hold on to the house, maybe do some renovations, turn around and sell it, and we'd get more money in return. What ends up happening? I did a call from HomeQ. That was a mortgage company that had the loan on the house, and I find out that the house note hadn't been paid for 3 to 4 months. Not only was he not paying his portion of the rent, but the owner, we'll talk about that later, the other person who moved into the house, a so-called friend of the family, wasn't paying the rent either. So I got a call from HomeQ and they said, Mr. Morris, we're about to take this house into foreclosure. And I'm like, what? I thought they were paying. And I called them up. I thought we talked about this. We had a couple of times you guys didn't pay. I told you, you need to pay the money so we can keep the house. And then what happens? They're like, I don't care. That's family. That's the family portion. All I asked him to pay was $150, and he couldn't do that. So him not paying $150, which is $450 over a 3-month span, cost me over $3,525 to get the house out of foreclosure, to pay back taxes. That's not counting what I had to pay the city of Los Angeles because they want their money. And when you fall behind, you got to pay the fee, the tax man. I thought that's why this country was founded. Taxes, not to be taxed, but city of Los Angeles said, we're going to tax you, boy. You didn't pay. You got to pay. So that's what I learned, family. I have one instance. One example with the girl, the mother-in-law is not paid. They lost a week worth of income. On top of that, the wife loses respect for the husband because he can't stand up to his mom. And then you have my situation, $3,525. That's how much I lost to get the house out of foreclosure. Not counting, eventually I had to end up just selling it because the friend didn't do her part either after I got rid of that guy. So the reason I'm telling you this is because family could suck your money. That's $3,525. I could have got high on it myself. Prostitutes, drugs, taking a trip to China, taking a trip to Hawaii, first class, $3,525. $2,800 is a first class ticket, plus stayed a couple of nights in a nice hotel. But what happens? Oh no. The family member didn't do their job, so by them not doing their job, they just cost me money, and all they cared for, and all I got in return was a big F you, and I give fuck you, and all kind of stuff. You got money, you can pay. So next time you have when you think about, I just learned, when you're gonna have a family member asking you for money, don't give them money. It's just a waste of time. In my opinion, don't give family members money. Take care of yourself first. Because what happens if you're not around? What happens if you die? Are you going to come to your grave, knocking on the grave, trying to get that $50 to $60? No. Just say, hey, I'll just be the family member you hate, man. I got nothing for you. But my saying is, I ain't got nothing for you, man. So that's what I learned. So be careful with family members. Most of the time, they're foe. They folk you. You don't need to give them any money. If you're not around, they would find a way to survive. So that's just think I lost $3,525. I could have paid the car off in 12 months if I didn't have to pay all that money out the pocket. That does not count the $296 I had to pay for the monthly bill until I sold the house. So that's what my little theme of the day, my rant of the day is, family members can take your money. Better to say no than to give them hope. But better to say no than to give yourself hope that they'll pay you back. So My goal is what I learned is to keep paying my car payments and paying my bills. Don't give any money to family. That's why they got the payday loan stores for. Credit cards, loans. They can go sell blood, go get some plasma, but don't give family members money because it's going to cost you in the long run.